Let's explore type assertions and type switches in Go. We'll cover how to use type assertions for interface values, type switches for handling multiple types, and the Comma OK idiom for safe type checking. Type assertions are a way to extract the underlying concrete type from an interface value. Here's the syntax for a type assertion. Value OK : equals interface variable dot open parenthesis concrete type close parenthesis. In this syntax, value will hold the concrete value if the assertion succeeds, and OK will be true. If the assertion fails and you don't use the Comma OK idiom, your program will panic. Let's look at an example using interface. Here, we declare a variable I of type interface and assign it the string value hello. Then, we assert that I holds a string value. The variable str will hold the string hello, and OK will be true. If OK is true, we print the value of str, which will output hello. Type assertions can be performed in two ways: safely, using the Comma OK idiom, and unsafely, which can cause a panic if the assertion fails. Let's look at the safe way first. Here's an example of a safe type assertion using the Comma OK idiom. If the type assertion succeeds, OK will be true, and the value will be assigned to the variable value. If it fails, OK will be false, and we can handle the error. Here's an example of an unsafe type assertion. If I is not a string, the program will panic. Avoid this in production code. The safe approach is generally preferred because it allows you to handle cases where the type assertion fails gracefully. Type switches are used to perform different actions based on the concrete type held by an interface. Here's the basic syntax of a type switch. Switch v : equals I dot open parenthesis type close parenthesis open curly brace. This switch statement checks the type of the interface variable I. If it's a string, it prints string, followed by the string value. If it's an int, it prints integer, followed by the integer value. If it's a bool, it prints boolean, followed by the boolean value. If it's none of the above, the default case is executed, printing unknown type. Type switches can handle multiple types in a single case. Here's how you can use a type switch with multiple types. Switch v : equals I dot open parenthesis type close parenthesis open curly brace. In this example, the first case handles both string and slice of byte types, printing text type followed by the value. The second case handles int 32, and int 64 types, printing integer type followed by the value. The third case handles float 32 and float 64 types, printing float type followed by the value. The fourth case checks for a nil value. If none of the above cases match, the default case is executed, printing other type. The Comma OK idiom is a safe way to perform type assertions in Go. It returns both the value and a boolean, indicating whether the assertion was successful. Here's how it works. Value OK : equals I dot open parenthesis string close parenthesis. Here's an example of using the Comma OK idiom in an if statement. If the type assertion succeeds, str will hold the string value, and OK will be true, and it prints value is followed by the string value. If it fails, OK will be false, and the else block will be executed, printing not a string. Here's a practical example demonstrating the use of a type switch in a function. We define a function process value that takes an interface as input. Inside the function, we use a type switch to determine the type of the data. If it's a string, we print its length. If it's an int, we print its double. If it's a slice of int, we print its sum. If it's none of the above, we print unsupported type. This example shows how type switches can be used to handle different types of data in a flexible and type-safe manner. Here's a summary of best practices for working with type assertions and type switches. Always use the Comma OK idiom to prevent panics during type assertions. Use type switches when handling multiple possible types. Type switches are generally more efficient than multiple type assertions. Always include a default case in type switches to handle unknown types.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.